What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwan.
And today we're back at it to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater WAAAGH.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to
the
do
question first. And that sync was off.
Yeah, it's like whenever you listen to yourself, but you have a lag, you know, when you have your headphones and you can't speak. Mm-hmm. That's what just happened.
Almost like an echo.
Brella. This question comes from Timothy Armstrong. He asks, what unit finds new worlds to colonize for the Imperium? That's a good question, because the Tau Empire obviously has the
drones,
and the everybody else has every other thing. The Imperium has rogue traders. So rogue traders have the I forget what it's called, something trade, the warrant of trade, so they can go out to even Xeno controlled planets and kind of figure out if it's worth taking over by the Imperium. Mm-hmm. And then the other big one is the Adeptus Mechanicus people, the
exploratory fleets.
There you go.
Yeah.
They are going out there searching for STCs. They're trying to look for new or rediscover planets that were discovered either during the Great Crusade or during the Golden Age of technology. But you know, obviously, sometimes warp storms break the Imperium up a little bit, especially nowadays with the whole
Cicatrix Maledictum. Mm-hmm. Is that a thing? I might be thinking of something else.
No, I think that's what it's called. Okay. I think it has like 3 different names.
Yeah.
But yeah, that giant warp rift that's across the
whole galaxy. I really like the name that the orcs called it, which is what, Mork's Grin?
Yeah, Mork's Grin.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
So yeah, that's what we should call it from now on.
Mork's Grin. But yeah, there's not many fleets or specialized units that go out there to uncover worlds, because that was pretty much done during the Great Crusade. That was the whole purpose of the Space Marines, the Primarchs, the Emperor. Go out, find these human worlds that have been either taken over by Xenos or just outside of the Imperial rule, and collect them and bring them in.
Yep. We'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah. This next one is by Dimande Allebird. This one kind of ties in because we did talk about rogue traders, but his question is, how often do these rogue traders have to check in with the Imperium?
Never. So there are some rogue traders that they earned the title from, you know, their fathers and their fathers, and they've never been to Terra. They're just out exploring, and they have that right. So when they check into the Imperium, it's really just checking into a pre-established Imperial,
like beacon or world or spire, something like that.
Yeah, but there's never like you have to make a pilgrimage to Terra because it's like by law or whatever. No, there's nothing like that.
Right. If anything, they might go talk to like a High Lord or something to say, hey, I found something pretty interesting, or I've got some ore or minerals for trade, something like that.
I need help because of something. Mm-hmm. Then they'll seek out like the help of a certain planetary governor or like you said, a High Lord. Yeah.
Or a Low Lord.
A Low Lord. Next question comes from Brandon Nelson. Are there any Grey Knights that believe that the Emperor is a god? And if not, do you think this could ever happen in the future?
Yeah, when it comes to Space Marine chapters believing that the Emperor is god, there isn't very many. But the only ones that really stand out is the Templars, the Black Templars. Grey Knights, they pretty much know what's up since they're so psychically powerful, and rumor has it they have the gene seed of the Emperor, so they should know what's up.
Yeah, the only thing is like it seems like the lore is pointing towards the fact that the Emperor is becoming a god in the warp. He's the god of order. But again, those are just theories, and it seems like the lore is pushing that way. If that does happen, then the Grey Knights having a really strong connection to the warp, psychic powers, and also just being so close to Terra, it might be like they foresee the Emperor becoming a god before he even becomes a god, and then they actually believe in the god Emperor, but with an understanding of like that we have.
Right. And they also have like this relic that ties into the Golden Throne or something like that. that like if all else fails, the Emperor's been dead or something like that, they could open this box and it's like a fail-safe. What it actually is or what it can do, like they hasn't been talked about, but they do have something of that type of nature, kind of like a Pandora's box, but for the Grey Knights. So it's interesting to see what that might be. Maybe it's like once the Emperor's died, it's like you open this box and like the Emperor ascends to godhood or something.
It might be like just throwing out theories. It could be like something that seals off the warp gate that's being there or being sealed off by the Emperor. That would be kind of cool. Or it would be like cool to have like a bat signal, but for Alfarius and Omegon, and then like the double agents come out, and they're actually, it turns out that they weren't Chaos, they're actually for the Imperium, and it'd be kind of cool. Or it could just be Miguelito.
It could be, he's in there chilling. It's like, vámonos, cabrón.
I choose you, Miguelito.
A la sierra.
Next question.
This one is by The Seeker. Okay, can we just agree that Dante is one of the best? Yes, he is.
One of the oldest.
And with oldestness comes age and wisdom, and my loss for words. Sniper King asks, who's your dream team up in 40K? Farsight with the rest of the Tau. Because that would mean either they have accepted him back or he has gotten rid of the ethereal rule or dominance over the Tau, and now they're essentially free to choose. So now the greater good might be represented into something else. That'd be really interesting to see what the Tau would do.
I think it's always cool to see all of the Eldar join together to fight for one cause. Yeah, it's always really cool to see like Dark Eldar, Craftworld Eldar, and Exodites. Harlequins too, jumping in there and doing their thing. I don't think I have a dream like named character lineup though.
I mean, Miguelito teaming up with the Emperor would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would. It means that the Emperor would have to like, get stronger, but.
But yeah, hands down, Miguelito, the Emperor, and Bridget B, dream team.
Yeah. Next question comes from Ursa Swan. Which faction has the most prized technology to obtain? I think the Necrons.
Yeah.
They have a technology that basically destroys physics, and you don't need the warp for it. I think the Emperor messed up by trying to open up a webway portal. He should have just tried to figure out, how the Necron technology works.
Maybe even Old One tech, because that was around during the age of the Necrons, or Necron tier.
Yeah. There are these things called dolmen gates or Dolan gates, I think, which the Ultramarines used during their whole little thing during the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, just that little thing in the Heresy.
When they became their own empire. Just that little thing. But yeah, so you could actually have access to the webway without all the mess of the demons and all that kind of stuff. So that I think that's, top of the line. Cute face, thin waist.
With a big behind?
Yeah. Also, speaking about big behinds, what are the Death Stars called for the Necrons? We talked about it in the Xeno Titans video. Boy chips?
No.
Something planets.
Yeah.
But the Necrons have basically Death Stars that can destroy entire planet world engines.
There you go. Yep.
They have world engines. That technology seems pretty badass.
Bien chingón.
Super.
As Miguelito would say. This one's by Pineapple. Who do you think needs a new model based on bad sizing? Mine is WAAAGH because he is supposed to be huge, but he's the same size as a regular Terminator.
Since you said based on sizing, I do think Got School should get a new model. He's pretty big, but I feel like he should be bigger. His arm should not be the majority of his body, is what I'm saying. Because that's what it is.
He's got that Popeye syndrome.
Yes. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. WAAAGH is supposed to be like the Mountain compared to like regular people, like from Game of Thrones. But I would say maybe even, what's his name? I don't even think it has a model. It's that one Dark Eldar like snake dude.
Oh, the Slith?
Yeah, something like those guys. Because I think in the lore they're supposed to be bigger, and they're pretty small.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Like longer, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool to get them on a bigger base.
Yeah.
Like the long base or the oval bases.
So like the bike bases.
Yeah. You remember when bike bases used to be square?
Yeah.
Those were horrible.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Next question comes from Brian B. If the Black Rage is a psychic backlash from Sanguinius' death, then would it be possible for it to be suppressed by blanks? I don't think so.
Well, because I think the whole Black Rage thing is them thinking they're back during the 30K era when Sanguinius has died. So I think if there's a blank next to a Blood Angel, that blank would nullify them thinking that. Maybe.
You think so? I mean, I need to read up on the Black Rage a little bit more, but I see the Black Rage more as it's a psychic little trigger that does something to the mind.
Exactly. There you go. Psychic trigger. They would nullify that trigger.
I know, but if you're already
that's true. If you're already there, then yeah,
then you're screwed.
Yeah, because it'd be pretty weird if you're already in the Black Rage in a frenzy, and then like a blank comes up, and then you snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. By the way, that new Eminem.
I heard it's good.
It's good, yeah. Godzilla's really good.
But yeah, I mean, I think maybe you're right that as long as a blank is with the Space Marine unit, they'll be fine. But I don't think that you could put a blank with what are they called, the Death Company, and then they all of a sudden they're fine too. I don't think that's how.
Because that'd be too much of a cop out. Because like Astaroth's goal is to behead you if you fall in too deep into the Black Rage.
Right.
And that's another pretty cool thing that affects the Blood Angels that differentiates them from other Space Marine chapters.
They have a really good flaw. Better than the Wolfen.
Yeah. So much so that Sanguinius knew this back during his era, and he was like actively trying to or no, that was the Red Thirst.
It was the Red Thirst. Yep.
A lot of flaws for the Blood Angels.
Yep, they're just shitty.
Pour one out for my peeps.
Next one comes from Dimande Allebird. Has there been Genestealers that have taken over a Space Marine homeworld in a Space Marine chapter? The closest thing I think is the Howling Griffins, and there was a Genestealer cult, but then the Hive fleet invaded, so it wasn't really the Genesteal. Well, I mean, I guess it was the Genestealers, but it was like the Tyranids just in general, with an assistance of the Genestealers. If you're just talking about the Genestealer cult by themselves, not that I can think of.
Yeah. Genestealer cults was never really my forte.
And their lore got revamped. I mean, it was a while ago, but they have a lot of lore now.
Yeah, they got cowboy Genestealers.
They got cowboy Gens.
They got a model that looks like they just came out of Wakanda.
Really?
Yeah. It looks almost like the what's it called? The Dora Milaje? The warrior women.
That's cute.
Well, at least that's what I thought.
Oh, you're talking about the one with the thing and the head crest thing?
With the thing and thing.
With the thing.
This next one's by Jake S. Are Scutari and the Iron Hands the best Imperial units to use against Tyranids, since they aren't made of biomass?
Ass. No.
Because they still have biomass to them. It's not like they're 100% robots.
Yeah, Tyranids can still consume just regular ores, metals, but... And then even in the tabletop, I don't think.
Well, competitively speaking, the Iron Hands are pretty good, meta-wise.
Yeah, but I don't think that they could stand up against swarms and swarms of Tyranids. We'll see though, in the future.
Oh, Tyranids should be coming up on the Psychic Awakening stuff, so that's something to keep an eye open for.
That's gonna be fun. Last question. What do you have?
This one's by Impulse in the Zone. When you guys play the tabletop game, do you guys only play the rules of the current edition, or do you ever take rules from older editions that affect gameplay? For example, I heard that from 2nd edition, the winners run a train on the losers.
Whoa! That sounds like something I want to do.
Oh, we're going to implement that right now. Let's just do that for every game. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Oops, we tied. I guess we're both losers.
There have been situations where things from the past have popped up.
That really got me by surprise. Oh man. But yeah, no. Usually when we play, it's always the current edition.
But no, like, cause like even last game, there was something that we did, that was like specifically from like another old edition that we just like carried over and made a house rule for it.
I think it's because we usually play like 3 people, like 1v1v1. So you get into these weird scenarios where it's like, we'll make a house rule for it.
Oh yeah, it was the initiative thing, because initiative isn't a thing anymore. But we were like, well, we have to figure out what initiative was. So then we ended up just saying, nah, fuck that. Like, we're just not gonna do that.
Right.
But yeah, other than that,
yeah, because we've never really gone back and played like 5th edition or.
nor would we want to.
Yeah.
Because then the power creep is different. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're playing Tau using plasma weaponry? Let me bring my Grey Knights that are unaffected by plasma weaponry.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I like that last question. Ask more questions like that, guys. Yeah, I'm speechless. This was Gershwan,
The Sound Alchemist, and we'll see you on the next one. Choo choo.
Always used to put my freedom first, and then